This is James Mathers at Cine Gear Expo 2019. Here with my friend Bill Meurer. Bill is the owner of Birns Sawyer, and also a cinematographer for many years, a gaffer before that. So you've been in this business about as long as I have. Tell me the changes you've seen. Tell me about some of the history of Birns Sawyer. Birns has been there before we were.
Well, I started out as a customer of Birns Sawyer when I was a cinematographer. And 1998, I merged my company, Gunner Lighting, into Birns Sawyer, and learned that there was a lot of different things that we could do for technicians in terms of supplying new equipment and looking at the changes to make their jobs easier and provide better content. We were active in the late 90s with the XL1 Canon, which was a professional video camera that was out, and then we worked with Panasonic with the high def 2/3 inch, and then the Reds and everything else. Pretty much I think the business is stabilized with these sort of PL mount Super 35 cameras. We do have some full frame lenses, although I'm not really convinced that large format is ever going to be a really viable option for the more budget sensitive projects that people need to shoot. Lens data systems are great ideas for certain things, but we haven't met a customer yet that needs it. So we just added a set of CP3s and some Sigma primes. It's kind of what I'm used to as a cinematographer, standard types of camera, lens, follow focus, assistant. The biggest change is the availability of lots of equipment. So it's harder and harder for companies like ours to capitalize expensive equipment because there are so many options for people, which is great.
It must be really tricky for you to see the technology that's out there and decide what to invest in, but I think you must be doing something right because Birns Sawyer has been around a long time. I can count, I would run out of fingers if I tried to count all the companies that have come and gone since you and I were in the business. Mark Armistead, Jack Pill, most people won't remember any of these. More recently, Claremont Camera. A lot of companies, Cinepro, they've all.
Birns Sawyer is a unique company in that a third of our rental business is to other rental companies because we have such a wide variety of specialty equipment. We have a huge filter inventory, so we're wanting to cooperate with other camera rental companies in the industry because it's really about helping everybody succeed. If we can help another guy fill his package out, it's good for the town, right? Hollywood has always been, in my view, really the best place in the world to shoot a picture because you have the best technicians, the best selection of equipment, and a lot of infrastructure in the form of stages and locations.
And talent.
And talent, of course, yes.
But, you've been making some good calls because the equipment that you decide to invest in, you've been able to amortize that. And if you didn't, you'd probably be one of those companies that went out of business.
Yeah, that's true. You have limited, funds to invest. And, we've had periodic auctions to auction off some of our larger lighting equipment, some of our very expensive lenses, things that aren't really,
aren't renting anymore.
Well, we auctioned off some 24 to 290s. It's a great lens.
Yep.
We still sub-rent it, but it's so expensive, many of our clients can't afford that type of a lens because we really work in the independent filmmaker community, right? So they need solutions that are affordable for them. And also the producers have lower license fees, so they don't have the same kinds of budgets in many cases. So everybody's trying to figure a way, to be more efficient and still get great images. So the manufacturers have done us a great favor by producing all these wonderful cameras. My personal favorite is the Panasonic EVA 1, which is a 4K capture camera, Netflix approved, is a great camera for somebody to use.
Under $10,000.
Under
right?
$10,000. It uses interchangeable lenses, professional accessories. So, so it's an interesting market. But, we just have found that it's better to concentrate on staying, very smaller, I guess, if you will. We could have enlarged and gotten bigger, but we want to maintain control over our equipment and have the right stuff for the people that we do serve. So, it's been pretty exciting. But, it was really just breathtaking to see the collapse of essentially tungsten lighting and large HMI lighting. I mean, we auctioned off everything over a 2K in tungsten and everything over 1800 watts in HMI. And for the most part, people don't really use those lights very much anymore. So, the LED has made a big impact on that. And also there's been a complete decline in the use of Fresnel lighting. It's really become mostly soft lighting, and so you don't see a lot of hard lighting applications anymore.
But I think that's sad. There's
I
a
think
lot
there's
of
a
things
place
you,
for it,
that
you
you
know, I
need Fresnel, and I think many of the young people aren't comfortable with it. They're just not familiar with it.
It takes, I was trained in Fresnel lighting at the studios, and it takes working with a lot of good cinematographers to really see how Fresnel lighting can be used. And if you look at the history of Fresnel lighting, it started with Fresnel lighting. Let's face it, the sun is a Fresnel. So, you can get, a more three-dimensional look out of an actor if you use Fresnel lighting. But, other considerations come in, and as technicians, we have to remember it's really only about the script. It may not look that good, but if the script is great, people are still going to watch it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you very much, Bill.
Yeah,
Good
sure,
perspectives.
you're welcome. Yeah, good to see you.